Hello and welcome to the weather update. It's 9:30, September 19th, and we had a beautiful day here, at least on the western part of Long Island. We had fairly clear skies, hardly any clouds at all. And I did get to some pines today in Deer Park. I couldn't go all the way out east. I do have a video, but that is because of our friends at the Long Island Railroad who have shut down the main line. But there were some clouds out east, actually, too. If we look at the satellite, you'll see some clouds actually popped up on the east end. This was being indicated by some models. There was some low-level moisture, eastern Long Island, for whatever reason, hanging on there, and it caused some cloudiness. Western part of Long Island, say anything from, I guess, west of Nichols Road, completely clear, as well as New Jersey, completely clear as well. Very nice day today. A little warm out there. I think we were above average for the day. We're going to look at that in a moment. Let's look at this other satellite loop here, so you get an idea of. Can't really see too well here. I'd have to go back and view the whole day, like 96 frames, so you could see the clouds kind of popping up there. You can sort of see the clouds popping up on the east end. So if you were anywhere from like east of Nichols Road, you had a cumulus deck around, and actually that cumulus deck was actually thick enough in West Hampton, which is where I was originally going to go, that they actually were reporting mostly cloudy skies for a good part of the day. Overcast and mostly cloudy from like noon, so which is right in the middle of the Pine Barrens there. But anyway, let's go look at the latest weather conditions we have out there right now, and we'll take a look and see what we have. So our temperatures are in the mid-60s. Dew points in the upper 50s. Yeah, the humidity came back a little bit this afternoon. The wind we got kind of a sea breeze, and the humidity kind of went back up again. And like some sites out east were not getting into the really dry air, and that actually included West Hampton. If we look at West Hampton here, we'll go to the 3-day on here as well. You'll see here that the dew points were actually in the upper 50s to almost 60 degrees out there in West Hampton. This is West Hampton. So you can see the dew points were a lot higher than, for whatever reason, some low-level moisture just hung on out there. For whatever reason, because if you go further west and you look at the, say, ice lip further west here, you'll see that the dew points were in the 40s. So we had dew points in the 40s, but then they have risen now with the wind kind of shifting to the south and east. Kind of look at how the dew point was not low in the afternoon, and then it shot back up again into the upper 50s like that. So yeah, still a little humidity. You can't seem to have a 24-hour period where we have the dew points below, say 50 to 60 degrees. It's very difficult to get. And some areas are already reporting dew points of 60 degrees or higher. Let's look at New Jersey here. Also seeing the dew points come up a little bit there. Also dew points in the upper 50s there. Look at some of the observations there too. Let's go look at downtown Toms River, 61, and let's see what they were reporting here. Wow, their dew points were high today. Oh, well, let me go back. Let me back it up a little bit here. They have a lot of. Dew points were down. They were in the low 50s. But they came back up in the evening again. Dew points started rising in the afternoon with that easterly flow off the ocean, which isn't surprising, on a northwest wind off the land, so picking up a little moisture off the ocean there. Let's look at, I was sort of surprised the clouds didn't form over the Jersey Shore either, but they really didn't. So we had a few like filaments of like cirrus and contrails in the first half of the day, but you could see that by later on, western part of Long Island, New Jersey, anytime after like noon, it was just beautiful, crystal clear skies. So let's take a look at what the highs were today. Let's get to the high temperatures here, get them on the screen here, and you'll see some sites still hit near 80. Let's see, we have an 80 over there. Islip hit 76, 75 at Shirley, 75 at West Hampton. Looks like 75 Farmingdale, somewhere around 75, but some areas you see some 80s. Right at the beach, no sea breeze until late in the afternoon, so it wasn't enough to wait. Further out east, it was cooler. The east end, they had 73, but then you also had more cloud cover out there. Near 79 at LaGuardia, 79 at JFK, 75 at Central Park. Let's see what it got up to in Toms River. Almost 80 degrees, 78 in Lakehurst, a little warmer in Toms River. 77. That's still above normal for, I believe that is above normal for this time of the year. I'm going to check right now and see. We'll go to the climate statistics here. So let's go and look at the climate statistics, and we'll see what the normal high for this time of the year is. And we'll look at ice slip first. Well, go to observed weather. Ice slip. And see what the high was. 76. Normal high 74. So we were 2 degrees above normal. Not below normal by any means. It's hard. It's like pulling teeth trying to get a day that's below normal. And the average low was, the minimum was 64. The normal low was 58. So that's 6 degrees above normal. So we're still 4 degrees above normal for the day at ice slip. Let's look and see what Central Park was. Their high was 76. Normal high 75. So they were 1 degree above normal. So yeah, a little bit above normal. Even though we had a cold front come through, it really didn't lower. It's like this is another thing that we have. Cold fronts come through, and they don't really have us below normal. They just bring us back to closer to normal. That's another trend that we have as we see the change in climate going on. Let's look at Newark, New Jersey as well. 80 at Newark. Normal high 77. So they were 3 degrees above normal for the high. So normal to a little bit above normal today, even with this cold front that came through. But with less humidity around, it sure as hell felt a lot more comfortable. Though, if you're going on a long hike, you're still going to sweat a little bit, like I did. You'll see in my video. But it was a very beautiful day across the area. So now we turn our attention to the tropics. We have 2 new storms to say hello to, folks. Peter and Rose. Tropical Storm Peter and Tropical Storm Rose. And then there's another area over here. So you can see, in no time, we're going to go to that Greek alphabet. You'll see that. So let's get to it. I guess we'll start with Peter. Get the latest on Peter right now. Latest public advisory on Peter as of 5 p.m. Peter is fending off strong wind shear, expected to pass north of the Lesser Antilles early this week. As of 5 p.m., its location 18.4 north, 57.8 west, about 350 miles east of the northern Leeward Islands. Maximum sustained winds are 45 miles an hour. It's moving west-northwest at 17 miles an hour. The minimum central pressure is 29.74 inches. And if we look at the cone here, let's go to that cone here. You'll see that it's mainly going to stay out in the ocean, and because there's going to be so much shear with troughs coming through, it's not really going to have much of a chance to develop that much. So that's the good news on Peter. Then we have Rose. Rose also, they don't have they have a public advisory. We'll try to read that in a minute. But Rose also stays out in the middle of the ocean. So none of these storms are really going to be a threat to anyone except the fish. Rose becomes the 7th named storm of the busy 2021 hurricane season. So as of 8 p.m., its location 14.3 north, 29.9 west, about 370 miles west of the southernmost Cabo Verde Islands. Max sustained winds 40 miles an hour, moving north-northwest at 16 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 1,005 millibars to 9.68 inches. It's interesting. We got 2 named storms at once. Oh, this season ain't done yet. Trust me. We've kind of passed the peak, but I think it's still going to keep going. I'm telling you, I think it's going to keep going. Let's see if we can get... Yes, we do. We can look at these on the satellite. Here's Peter on the satellite here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to definitely strengthen. Look at that. Definitely got some convective blow-ups. Before it's going to hit the shear. Right now, it's definitely in a strengthening cycle. So, Peter is definitely going to, even though they say it's fending off wind shear. It looks like an intensifying storm to me. Let's look at Rose. Also seeing some convection flare-ups with Rose, too, as well. So, they may be underestimating these storms. And they might actually strengthen. Who knows? They could become hurricanes. But their forecast says that won't happen. So we'll have to see about that. Let's go to the Tidbit site, and let's look at the Tidbit satellite here as well. Here's Peter. And you'll see still a convection going on, but I can see that shear off to the west. That's going to run into that. And it's not going to like the shear at all. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that's... definitely I still think these storms are going to intensify. They're not going to be going away anytime soon, but they also won't be bothering anyone. They're going to stay out in the ocean. And then this, what the hell? They've got something marked that far north? Really? It's saying 0 chance, though. Oh, boy. Okay, well. Where did the Tidbit site go? Did I just close it down? I think I did. Let's see. Where did I do with the Tidbit site? We'll have to go back to the Tidbit site. My mistake there. Okay. So let's go look at the models now, and we're going to first start off with the North American view, actually. So we're going to go to this, because this is Sunday, of course, and I want to cover a little more than I normally do. The past couple of days, I know it was kind of a short weather update. So let's look at the jet stream first of all right? So you get to see how it interacts here. So we're going to have a little ridge building in the east again. You can see a trough approaching here. And you can sort of see that wind shear over here. This is it right here. That is not going to be favorable for any storms. So we have this trough coming through. The trough's a little slower, so it means the cold front's probably not going to come through and clear the area until Friday. And then we have another trough dip through. So we are seeing some troughs, but then look what happens as we get in October. The ridge rears its ugly head once again. So that means as far as getting any prolonged cold in here, it seems like we're going to be more above normal than not. So let's look at the upper air pattern, and you see there's that ridge to start off the week. Trough comes through, brings a cold front through Friday, and another trough on Sunday. And then it kind of gets stuck in this spot where we'll have again another period of fair weather. But then it ridge builds, and then look at that, it's developing something. Obviously, that far out, we can't say, but it's still recurving it out to sea. All right, let's take a look at the CONUS view now so we can visualize all this at the surface. Of course, we were looking at the GFS at 18Z. So this big, beautiful high sticks around with us again for tomorrow for another nice day. Onshore winds, keeping the temperatures low. And Tuesday, I think, also stays dry as well. Probably have a few more clouds maybe. And then this cold front, because of the nature of the trough, is going to be much more slow moving, which means originally it was going to move through really fast. We're going to have a really quick cold frontal passage. Now it's going to take time, and we're going to have chances of rain developing later Wednesday night, lingering into Thursday, and it won't get out of here until Friday. Once Friday comes, we'll get this front through. But Thursday could wind up being a rainy day, so the timing's a little slow with this front. But we still get out of it by Friday. We have another nice, beautiful high building in for another nice weekend, and another nice air mass there, and then another high behind that. But then after that, we start seeing that ridge build. So let's look at our temperature anomaly chart here, and we'll take a look and see what our temperature anomalies are as we head into this week. So as we head into tomorrow, you'll see it still has us a little bit in the red, which means we'll be slightly above normal. Here's Tuesday. We're still slightly above normal. We're going to go above normal for Wednesday ahead of that cold front, and maybe part of Thursday. Then the cold front comes through, and then finally, we can finally get into some air that may get us to a little bit below normal on Friday and Saturday before we start going above normal again as we get toward October. You'll see. We'll start seeing that heat build again in the east there as you get toward October. That is what the long range says anyway. So, we'll be going above normal again for those who like the above normal weather. We'll take a closer look now at our area, and we're going to start. Let's see how much of that HRRR we have. We have a good amount of it. So let's go. We'll see, no real precipitation. You see we stay dry. This takes us all the way till Tuesday. Maybe it's developing a few little spot showers Tuesday, later on Tuesday. But let's look at those dew points. We're going to start with that because obviously the models seem to underestimate them tonight. You can see a little bit of those yellows coming in. Those are dew points in the 60s. And we'll be dealing, I think, with some dew points in the 50s tomorrow. And then the dew points start rising as you head into Tuesday, right? Looking at our temperatures, again, we still stay in the dry air tomorrow. Tomorrow will be very similar to today, I think. Temperatures generally in the 70s. Again, cooler on Long Island, warmer to the west, warmer inland. Though with the east flow, I think that also keeps the Jersey Shore cool as well. And then tonight we'll also have lows dropping to the 50s. If you don't have an alley, you'll probably have lows in the 50s or maybe low 60s for me. Probably won't get much below 65 out there. Got to keep the AC going. A little warmer on Tuesday. You'll see that 75 to 80 degrees there. Let's go to the GFS now and look at the temperatures on the GFS. So here's that GFS for tomorrow, and you'll see, generally speaking, mid-70s. Probably not as cool tomorrow night because I think we'll have a little more moisture in the air. And then for Tuesday, we're still staying cool. Probably there'll be more cloud cover to the chance of showers. And then for Wednesday, this is when we see that warm air shoot up, and that'll get us into our low 80s with that humidity. Be back in the picture, and this is going to be a very strong cold front. You can see that. Look at what happens on Thursday. You can see the east end might still be in the 70s and 60s and 50s to the west. This could be a severe weather event, possibly. We're going to have to watch. And then for a Friday, look at that, upper 60s, low 70s, and that's going to be with us, low 70s. That'll be right through next weekend. Very, very nice, low 70s, right in the Monday, Tuesday, and then it starts warming up again as we get into October, as you see there. We go above normal again, perhaps seeing an 80-degree day again the first week of October, which is ridiculous for October. So let's go to the dew points now, and you'll see this warm air that's going to surge into our area. So nice day tomorrow again. Got the easterly flow, dry air, but then the humidity starts getting into the picture Tuesday. We start seeing those dew points rise up to closer to 60 degrees, and then really warm, humid air for Wednesday. And this is a very sharp cold front. And this could bring a possibility of severe weather for Wednesday night into Thursday, perhaps, with this front. We're going to have to watch it very closely. And you can see a very strong LLJ and a very sharp line there on this cold front. That could mean severe weather, and we see something like that. We're going to really have to watch that very closely. The other thing, we'll look at the radar presentation in a moment here. But you'll see behind that front, we have that beautiful dry air, dew point sharp in the 40s for Friday, Saturday. It stays dry right through for quite some time. So we're going to have some really beautiful weather to wrap up September, which is great. So let's go take a look at the sky. We'll get back to the precipitation in a moment. But looking at the sky for tomorrow, we start off clear. I think it'll be clear most of the day. I don't think that cirrus really gets in. Maybe areas west of the city, maybe after 2 o'clock. But I think Long Island, we're going to be mostly sunny right till around 3, if not later than that. And then the cirrus starts rolling in, and then we'll have more clouds on Tuesday for certainty. And then Wednesday, obviously, plenty of clouds. Thursday, and then we clear it on out for Friday with another beautiful day. So let's now take a look at the other models here. RGM. Let's go to the RGM. So this is the RGM. Here's the RGM for tomorrow. And see, it does seem to form some cumulus, perhaps, inland parts of Long Island. But other than that, we're mostly sunny tomorrow, and then it is Tuesday that we'll start seeing some more clouds around. But it won't be completely cloudy all day. We'll have some clouds, some breaks of sun. And then even Wednesday, it looks like this is the RGM. It's slow with this front. Wednesday, it brings some sunshine, too. So this really has a chance to really heat up. You can see that tropical flow there on that RGM quite well. We'll have a better idea of this tropical air mass event and the cold front as we get into probably tomorrow night and Tuesday. Probably we'll have a much better idea. But this is right now out of the range of most of the short range models. Let's look at the 18Z as well. NAM. So this is the NAM for tomorrow, and the NAM seems to develop a cloud deck across a good part of Long Island in the morning, and then lifts it out by the afternoon, and then brings in more clouds for your Tuesday. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Maybe overdoing it, because the NAM did overdo the cloudiness for today. Let's go look at the NAM 12. And the 18Z, we'll see how far I get on this. I don't think it's going to take us that far into... Yeah, it's not going to take us to the cold frontal event, but this cold front is definitely going to have to be watched. And again, looking at the GFS, you can see, look at that. That looks like a good solid line. Of course, it breaks it up as it gets toward the coast, but this is really a chance of severe weather Wednesday night into Thursday here. And that is the GFS, and that brings the front through fairly quickly and gives us a nice Friday. Let me see if the Canadian is doing the same thing, because the Canadian is a lot slower. Yeah, sure enough, it's a lot slower. That's why I was looking at the RGM, which is a short-range variation of the Canadian. This is the Canadian. It's a lot slow with the cold front. It does get it through eventually. For some reason, it's missing some days, so what is going on here? It's going from 18Z Friday, and it doesn't bring the front through until it stalls it out all weekend long. There may be something with that model, so I wouldn't... Let's see if the ICON does the same thing. I'm going to look at the ICON. So it seems like we have some sporadic data here. ICON is also slow with the front. So GFS is faster. The ISON is slower. Let's see if the European, which we can't see on here. I'd have to go to windy.com. But let's look at that European and see what's going on with that. Let me go to windy.com and see if it's going to be slow with the front too as well. So I'll just put it on clouds. I guess that's the best way to look for a front. And we'll see if it's slow with the front too. So let's see what it does with the front. This is Thursday, Friday. Yeah, it's slower. Yeah, definitely. So there seems to be a disagreement with the timing of this front, the miles. The GFS slowed down and then it sped up again. But regardless, that front does get out of here by the weekend, most likely. But we'll have to see the timing. Whenever that front moves through, there could be severe weather with it. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it. Euro is a lot slower. Again, this is Friday at 1 p.m. So it's a lot different than the GFS. And, of course, that means that we are in the warm air for a lot longer. And that means that we're going to have more warm and humid days. We'll have to see what happens. The models seem to have some disagreement in the long range. This is why I don't really want to go too much into it at this point until we have a better idea of what's going to happen. It all depends on how that trough is shaped when it comes through. Let's look at the smoke now. I don't think we're going to have an issue with this. Let's look. We got the 0Z in with that. Let's go and look at that. See. It's really not much smoke out there. There's an area of smoke, but this is also getting pushed down by the next cold front, so I don't think we're going to be dealing with that either. So let's go to the ice analysis here. I think this will be the last time I look at this. The ice analysis for the Arctic. And we'll see how we do here if they've got a new and odd summer's end. It says the Arctic sea ice minimum extent is imminent. After a cool and stormy summer, this year's minimum extent will be one of the highest in the past decade, despite the amount of multi-year ice standing at a near-record low. So it's because of this large area of low pressure in the seas, which has helped keep the ice around. So even though we have a decent extent, but it's all thin ice. But there is a decent extent. So no, we're saved from the Blue Ocean event this year. Thank God it hasn't happened this year. I would love for it not to happen, but we're still on track to have it happen. Especially if we continue to keep treating the planet the way we are. So that is going to wrap up this weather update. I think we're just about done. So you all have a good night, and thanks for watching.